Yo, what up, Street Gods? Eric Kim. Alright, some more Turbo Thoughts. So, this one is offend. The right to offend, right? Offendo in Latin. Fendo means to strike or to hit. And it's funny, we have the right to defend ourselves. Why don't we have the right to offend? Like, I'm not about like physically hitting people, right? So that's not nice. But I'm kind of for the idea that in America and the rest of the world, maybe the Middle Eastern cultures are good. I don't think they're afraid as much as offending, but at least in the States and Asia, stuff like that, or Confucian cultures like Korea, stuff like that. The fear of offending people is actually what holds us back. So, in America, it's so funny because like you watch comedy and stuff like that. It's like it's always the thought is the more as a super seeing it from an outsider perspective, we like to watch people who are offend other people, like comedians, stuff like that. But we like to do it from the safety of our own seat as a spectator. Now, even our, Mr. Donaldo, right? He's quite possibly one of the most offensive politicians of all time, or characters or individuals, and yet like people are addicted to him. Like, ironically enough, like even like left-leaning liberals, newspaper people, like I'm like, you guys are unintelligent. Like, you realize that the more you tweet and you report all the bad things that he's doing, he's getting like $1 trillion of free press. If you were a liberal who was really anti-Donald Trump, don't want him getting elected, the real intelligent thing is to like next time he does an antic, just don't bring it up or mention it, because actually in the realm of politics, all press is good press, and the more you get people to talk about you, the better, at least in the realm of politics. Maybe also in the realm of earthing, right? Like, I think even the reason why Joe Rogan and his podcast has gained so much popularity is because, Joe will say what's on his mind. Shout out to Joe. He's got some balls. Even calling out Bill Gates for looking like crap, or even Elon Musk. I really admire him for just Google images is the best way to kill your boner. A photo of Bill Gates skinny fat, right? But anyways, everyone is always so afraid of offending somebody that we don't say none, right? Like, that's why I think the average American likes to talk about, like, the latest TV show or the series, or whatever, or anime. Like, typically it takes no courage to talk about certain subjects that you're not really going to offend nobody about. Even sports, right? Like, I find sports to be the most kind of like bizarre or cowardly behavior. I'm like, you're spending so much time watching dudes play basketball. When's the last time you went to shoot some hoops, right? I guess it's different if you do play basketball regularly and you watch basketball. I'm like, all right, that's cool. Similarly speaking, like football, right? I'll give you an example, football, right? Most guys I know who really enjoy football have actually never played real football in their lives. Like, when I was in high school, I played football my sophomore and junior. Sophomore year, I played outside linebacker. Junior year, I played inside linebacker. I only played JV. I never made it. I never did varsity. I was gonna do varsity my senior year, but the thought from my tennis coach was muscles make you big and bulky, which makes you not suitable for tennis, which, I know that's actually not true no more. I kind of, it would have been fun if I had done football my senior year too, and then get super duper swole, and then become even a more menacing tennis player. Like, honestly, I think even more tennis players should just lift weights and get super buff. But anyways, so why is it that we're so afraid of offending other people or being offensive or saying X, Y, Z? I think just, part of it's a social fear, right? Like, to offend somebody means that they might get angry at you. You might be, exiled off the island. You're kicked out of the tribe, whatever. But also part of it is kind of a moralistic one in which, traditional Judeo Protestant Catholic morality says, thou shalt not be offensive to other people because it is morally bad and evil, right? So it's also an ethical thing, right? And the rule in America is one should never talk about politics or religion because you might offend somebody, right? The tricky thing with offending people or being offensive, whatever, is actually that like when it comes to matters of being offensive, are you trying to stir up a ruckus by intentionally being offensive, or are you just honestly speaking your mind and sharing what you truly believe in, and unfortunately out of that it offends some human beings? So I think the difference is important because I don't know 100% for certain, but I think there are some individuals who are offensive for the sake of being offensive, and then there are some humans who speak simply what's on their mind, and then they get crucified for that. So for example, Kanye West, right, when he said George Bush don't care about black people, right? You remember that, right? During Hurricane Katrina? I think he just said what's on his mind, right? I don't think he, intentionally did it as a means to further his own personal fame or whatever. He just says what's on your mind. And actually, even was it him coming out, he's like, Beyonce had the best music video of all time, right? Interrupt Taylor Swift, right? I'm gonna let you finish, right? So he's so crazy. The more I think about it, right? Beyonce should be eternally grateful to Kanye for speaking on her behalf, even more so than Jay-Z maybe, because that's what was on everyone's mind, right? Our example, why did what's her face win the Grammy or something when Beyonce's Lemonade should have won it? Kanye should go on stage again and said something, right? And so often there's the elephant in the room or something that is on everyone's mind. Everyone's thinking it, but nobody has the courage to actually say what is really on their mind, because once again, you gotta keep the social order. You cannot offend nobody, right? And also in the realm of street photography, this is quite critical, because in street photography, I think what holds it back so much of us is that we're so scared or so afraid of offending somebody that you either don't shoot the photo without permission or you don't ask for permission, right? It's like, oh, sorry to bother you, but blah blah blah. That's what Americans always like to say. But a recent thought, or I thought I hadn't, was, at worst, honestly, you just might mildly annoy somebody. But why is it so bad to annoy somebody, right? Even being annoying, right? If anything, the line between annoying and to be tenacious and diligent is it's all just a matter of perspective, right? So for example, when I was in college, right, like Cindy was by far the most beautiful individual out there, and I was probably most certainly the worst suitor. But why is it that, you know, I guess Cindy decided to date me than all these other better suitors? I think it's because I was just much more tenacious and kind of like rambunctious ratchet. And even when it comes to like lifting weights at the gym, right? He or she who becomes the strongest, I think they're just the most tenacious. They're the most, like even people I respect at the gym, there's lots of dudes I actually see, and girls, who go to the gym every single day. I see them literally every single day. And I have mad respect for them because to have that regular practice, even Cindy, like she go core power every single day. She's been like 31 days in a row since we came back from Korea. She got super swole. It's good to do things regularly if you really care for it. And also the funny thing is, like when I'm weightlifting in the gym, height lifting, right? Get like super long, right? It's like people might be scared to do that because they're gonna offend somebody. I'm like, first of all, ain't nobody even care. Everyone has their earbuds pros on. Everyone's on their phones. Everyone's distracted. And at worst, somebody might like, you know, give you the side eye or think to themselves like, yo, check out this bozo, like getting super duper loud, whatever. But I'm like, so what? It don't matter. Like, somebody judges you negatively, like even Jeff Bezos says, like, if you're afraid of criticism, people judging you or, you know, making a fool out of you, it's like you ain't finna do nothing in your life, right? So think and consider in your life. I mean, certainly don't try to intentionally offend people to be an asshole, but when in doubt, better to offend than to play it safe.